Greetings and welcome to Human K Channel. Today, we start a fascinating look at Alfred Adler's groundbreaking ideas in the field of individual psychology. Adler's way of looking at human nature is different from Freudian psychoanalysis because it focuses on the uniqueness and awareness of each person and how much more important social forces are than biological ones. Let's learn more about the details of his great ideas. In his opinion, how hard Adler tried to make up for how bad he felt about himself had a significant impact on his childhood. Adler's system of individual psychology is very different from Freud's. It is based on the ideas of uniqueness, consciousness, and the huge effect of social forces, not just biological ones. Importantly, Adler's ideas downplay the importance of sex when it comes to knowing how people act. Adler's theory is based on the idea that people strive because they feel like they aren't good enough. All people feel this way, and it comes from when they were babies and felt useless and needed adults. So people spend their whole lives trying to make up for it and get over feeling bad about themselves. But when this doesn't work, it can lead to an inferiority complex, which makes it hard to solve life's problems. On the other hand, overcompensation can lead to a superiority complex, which is a distorted view of one's skills and successes. Adler's main goal for people is for them to strive for excellence or perfection, which means making themselves whole and complete. He came up with the idea of fictional finalism, which is when made-up ideas like perfection affect how we act and shape our unique patterns of traits and actions, which are called styles of life. In essence, style of life is how each of us tries to reach greatness in our own way. Adler also talked a lot about the creative power of the self, pointing out that we can shape our own growth using the materials that our genes and surroundings give us. Within Adler's framework, he found four main ways to live: the dominant or ruling type, the getting type, the avoiding type, and the socially useful type. These styles show different ways to deal with the problems of life and shape who you are. Adler also emphasized that people have a natural interest in other people, which is part of our nature. But this social interest relies a lot on our early social experiences, which shape our ability to care about others, work with them, and connect with them. Adler thought a lot about birth order when he was trying to figure out how people grow and change because it has a big effect on how people build their lives. Firstborns, for example, tend to be pessimistic about the future and fixated on the past. They also like to maintain order and control. Secondborns are often very ambitious because they are always trying to beat their older brothers. Lastborns, on the other hand, may become great achievers because they want to beat their older siblings. Also, only children may be surprised when they go to school and are no longer the center of attention, even though they grow up early. Compared to Freud's ideas, Adler's view of human nature is more optimistic. He stressed that each person is unique and has free will, which gives them the power to shape their own growth. Even though our childhoods are important, Adler stressed that we are not helpless victims of them. Adler came up with ways to evaluate people, like looking at the order in which they were born, asking about their earliest memories, and figuring out what their dreams meant. There has been a lot of psychological research to support Adler's theories. Studies have shown that Adler was right about the importance of dreams, early memories, and the effects of being neglected or spoiled as a child. Also, there is proof that social interest and emotional well-being go hand in hand. Also, in the past few years, studies have shed light on the interesting way that a person's birth order affects their personality and how their life turns out. Let's look at the most important parts of these studies and talk about how birth order affects our lives. Most firstborn children have unique qualities. They are usually smart and hardworking people who want to be successful. Studies have shown that they do well in school and in their jobs. Also, firstborns tend to be less depressed and anxious and have more confidence in themselves. When we look at the lives of secondborn children, we see that their birth order plays a different role. As younger siblings, they often learn from and look up to their bigger siblings as role models. Research shows that second-born children are more likely to take risks when doing things like playing baseball. The fact that they have to compete with their bigger siblings can make them want to show what they can do. Now, let's talk about the youngest children in the family, the lastborns. These people often have unique qualities. Lastborns usually have a lot of social interest and are easy to get along with. They also have a strong sense of empathy and connect with other people. But they can also be stubborn, wanting to be on their own and show who they are. Lastly, let's look at what it's like to be an only child, or a child who grows up without peers. Research shows that people who are the only child in their family tend to be high achievers who are smart and work hard. They do well in school and often have a good opinion of themselves. In short, the birth order study gives us interesting information about how the way our families work affects our personalities and how our lives turn out. Firstborns are often smart, successful, and have a high opinion of themselves. Because their older siblings have an impact on them, secondborns may take more risks. Lastborns are very interested in other people, but they can also be disobedient. Onlyborns are successful, smart, and have high self-esteem. Birth order studies are a fascinating way to learn more about ourselves and how our families work, as we continue to learn more about how complicated people are. In conclusion, Alfred Adler's important contributions to the field of psychology have taught us a lot about how people think and feel. His ideas give us hope and optimism because they stress our uniqueness, our ability to grow, and the power of humanity. As we move forward, let's not only learn from Adler's knowledge but also put his ideas into practice to help us understand other people and feel better about ourselves. By using what Adler taught us, we can build better relationships, encourage understanding, and make our society more caring. Thank you for taking part in this interesting talk. We can't wait to bring you more interesting talks about psychology and other topics. Stay in the know and watch out.